Yeah, you could do a whole podcast about Pavia from that perspective. There's just a lot that goes into it. And the other thing about Pavia is that I didn't expect to have this kind of position on it, but I do think the entire media is after painting him in a really bad image.
I'd have to
And that
agree.
could, yeah, and that can cause a lot of like confirmation bias to the same as, oh, I think Pavia is kind of a jerk, or Pavia is this, and then like you see Barstool's really bad at rolling out basically diss tracks towards Pavia and finding any type of crap because they know it feeds views. But at the same time, Pavia absorbs it. He absorbs the attention. He absorbs the kind of like the middle finger to the sky with the money to the ear type thing. And like, and I know earlier in the season, Johnny Manziel mentioned he was going to mentor him to make sure he was falling in line. And I look at like, I'm one of the biggest Johnny Manziel like fans from 2020 or from 2012. Like, you see Johnny Manziel partying with the Bella Danger, holding up like the U sign versus Miami, and that's like a real photo. Throughout the season, he's really focused on basically pioneering Pavia as a Heisman, and it's just like you're not even advocating for your own school, your own alumni, the Aggies. So I found the whole thing the entire year obnoxious. I found it overwhelming to the sense of like, why are we trying to paint this image when it just was all very dysfunctional, and so there was just no way that he was going to win the Heisman. But additionally, stat wise, putting Vanderbilt on the map wise, he actually had the credentials to win a Heisman Trophy. He had similar stats to Jaden Daniels, and other 3,000 pass plus 800 rush. The only candidate that he joins that had that credential that didn't win a Heisman is Dak Prescott from Mississippi State. And Prescott, when he was at Mississippi State during that year, was like top 5 in the nation. So there just was no way I think that Pavia was going to win the Heisman. And, his attitude, he did an apology tweet, but his attitude after the show and the ceremony, it's just childish. And what's ironic is he's the oldest. That's what's funny. Like he's like the oldest and should be the most mature, and he's the most immature appearingly out of everybody.
Oh, for sure.
So
I mean, you saw the F Indiana little thing, that video that probably circulated around the internet.
Even his story.
It's just like, dude, and it happened right after the Heisman candidacy party. You're just like, dude, like, not to be like that dude, but you kind of have to set an example for the kids that are looking up to you as well. And that's how you portray to the whole media that's how you want to be. Like I can't get behind that. I just can't. That's why I'm not really personally a fan of him, because unfortunately, as much as I didn't like how long Fernando Mendoza's speech was and how like it was just so long, at least he had like a really good message to the kids to let them know like, hey, I was in your shoes as well. You have the potential to be more than what you are currently, and you have have the support system to get to where you are. So that's why I personally, if I was a, what do you call that, a morale vote, definitely Mendoza, 1000%, no questions asked, not even gonna think about it. It's just but I guarantee I can get behind you with like how like maybe how the season played out. SEC is harder to play in the Big Ten, especially with Indiana's schedule. Now they did the Oregon and they beat Ohio State, so it's kind of like there's some mix and matches there. But I don't know. I mean, I can go on and on about this, but I think there was still an interesting way of going about everything.
No, I mean, I'm glad he came out and apologized for like what he did, and I think that's a good step towards hopefully being a better
LinkedIn
role model. But then again, like that's it's back-to-back stuff that bothers me. It's not, it's one thing when he posts the F Heisman voters, these are my fam, and says that, and then apologizes for that. But to do that and then go to a party and have that posted about him with the F Indiana thing, that's like it's like repenting for a sin, and then you're just like, screw it. It's like what?
Just
Yeah,
like-
really. Like you're already off to a bad start. Like even after apologizing.